This week is going to be wild. There's so much happening. I want to give you an update on everything that's happening, what I think is going to happen at this Ripple party, everything. Let's get it all out on the table so that we're all on the same page and we're all prepared and ready for New York. So actually, maybe let's start at the end of the week, looking at this Ripple, the proper party thing that's happening in New York on the 29th of September. Apparently, we're having a party to celebrate Ripple winning the court case against the SEC. But of course, massive speculation has arisen because when these dates are given and when Ripple say we're going to have a proper party, everyone goes to town on their speculation for what's happening, and there's rumors going around and there's all sorts of things. So we're going to look at some of the rumors. I'm just going to also give you my honest thoughts on what's happening. And then afterwards, I'll give you an idea of what's going on for me this week and why videos might be patchy this week, although that's not necessarily the intention. So if you're just interested in my thoughts on the proper party, that's going to be the first half of the video. Second half of the video is going to be more on a personal thing. So stick around if you're all about that. So for the Ripple party, we've got some people saying that what they're going to announce at this party is going to be basically a 20% discount on John Deaton's book. I feel really bad for John Deaton because he said in the video, but I'm very aware of this because it's happened to me and it happens to me all the time. Even though you say something with a disclaimer or you preface something, people ignore that and they get angry at you for the thing that you said, even though you prefaced it. So John Deaton said at the beginning of his announcement video on last Friday that I'm never doing an announcement for an announcement ever again because people are going to get the wrong idea and maybe I've over-promised and I will under-deliver. And he was very aware of that, and he does not want to do that. That wasn't his point. He doesn't want to ride the wave of kind of this hype train that everyone kind of gets onto when there's an announcement or a date or something. He didn't want to do that. He did it, but realized it was the wrong decision. And so he understood that he was probably going to be under delivering what people wanted to hear. So people have been kind of going at him saying, you were selling out or all of this stuff, which is absolutely silly because the man deserves to make some money, right? And he's also putting a lot of effort to write a book. It takes so much effort to write a book. Anyway, people are saying that they're going to announce a 20% discount at the party, which is a funny joke, but I don't support it. When we look at the range of things that people could be announcing, Ripple could be announcing at this event, you've got everything from 20% off John Deaton's book all the way over to announcing an IPO. And I want to go to the IPO side of things because they don't announce an IPO, right? You can't announce an IPO on a date. Like, for example, what I've seen people saying is they're going to go onto the stage and say, we're public now. It's that's not how an IPO works. You have to file a draft and it has to go through an approval process. You have to file an S1, and then you've got to basically, for different types of IPOs, but one of them is, we're going public on this exact date at this exact time. And so, sure, I would say it's in the realm of possibility that they say that has been an S1 filed. That is in the realm of possibility. The reason I don't think they're going to announce an S1 is because they would announce an S1 within working hours, right? I'm just trying to think logically here. The working hours go from 8 till 5 or 8 till 6. The party is at 7 o'clock, right? If they were going to file an S1 that was going to be a public thing, like everyone was going to know about it, we would know about it before the party because it would be submitted before the day's end, right? Unless there is some way that they deliver it at the end of the day, understanding that it's not going to be announced until the next day or something like that. But I feel like that's too high risk a situation to basically guarantee that you're going to announce it at the party and that's the only place it's going to be announced. So for that reason, I don't think that's going to be a thing. I don't think that's going to happen. Also, the other side of that is that people are thinking that there's going to be some sort of settlement announcement for Brad Garlinghouse on his individual thing with the SEC. And this might, again, be something that they would announce there. But look, it's the same thing about the S1 filing for an IPO. That news would come out outside of the event, right? The settlement, that would go through the court process and it would get leaked. So people would talk about how Brad Garlinghouse and that whole court case is now settled. They would talk about that outside of the event regardless of the event. So I don't think they're going to announce anything. I actually don't think they're going to announce anything. Lots of people have said it's going to be a nothing burger, but a nothing burger implies that you expect something to happen, and it doesn't. What I'm expecting is nothing, right? I'm expecting a party. I expect a proper party. That's like what they've called it. What is a proper party? Well, I'd imagine it's going to be one place for all XRP and Ripple people to get together. It's also going to be a place for entertainment, and, you know, it's going to be a party. There's going to be drinks and maybe some celebrities, big performers. Like, that's what it's going to be. That should be enough. It's been worded as a party, not an announcement. So I really just think the whole thing is going to be one big party. And personally, for me, I'm not a party guy. I don't go out and party. For me, the whole party element doesn't have much of an appeal, because I like to talk to people on a one-on-one situation is the best for me, or a small group without music. That's just how my mindset goes. I'd rather have an old-fashioned with some country music in the background. That's more how I would operate. But certainly, if you're putting it in the context of a party, and you want to go to a big party in New York, I would probably say this is going to be a big party, right? It's going to be A-list performances. You don't really get that anywhere else outside of big parties. So I think we have to treat it for what it is, a party. And I guess what I'm saying is, it's like, don't rest everything on the idea of something happening at this party, because for all intents and purposes, it is just a party. There may be conversations that happen at the party between certain people. I'm going to certainly try to be in some of those conversations, where you get extra nuggets of information because you're there in person with someone. Or maybe the free drinks or something, make something slip from someone very important. Like, that's what I would be there for that juicy information, and maybe the little nuggets of information that someone said accidentally, kind of thing. The kind of stuff that they chase you after with an NDA, you know? That's the kind of stuff that I would be there for. But I'd be super interested to know who of you is actually going in this audience. Who's making the trip to go up to New York? And if you are making that trip to go out to New York, are you viewing it as a party, or there's going to be some big announcement? It'd be great to know what you think, and everyone's opinions are valid here, because no one actually knows. Sure, they could announce an S1. Sure, they could announce that they've settled. But I think there's lots of things going on right now that are really interesting that I don't fully understand, but this week I'm going to try and figure it out myself, and I want to talk to some people who know about what's going on with Bitcoin and Ethereum and the corruption, and I want to kind of get all that straight in my head. But what I do see happening right now, whether it all comes to fruition on proper party day or not, is this whole concept of Bitcoin and Ethereum falling out of the institutional favor, and something needs to replace it, right? We see it all the time, where you've got Ethereum-based technology being used by JP Morgan, whatever. They're not using Ethereum. Let's get that straight. Ethereum sucks. Okay, that's going to get people pretty riled up if you like Ethereum. But you're not alone, Ethereum guys. The Bitcoin guys are right there with you. You also suck. Not you as a person. Maybe. Probably not. Perhaps. But Bitcoin, the blockchain, and the technology there was great for when crypto started in the early days. It was fantastic. It was a decentralized money. Amazing. But since then, we've surpassed that. We've gone way past it. Bitcoin is the MySpace of social media, right? It was it was there before, now it's just not anymore. And so it seems to me that things are shaping up in such a way where Ethereum and Bitcoin fall out of favor. The big institutions go, yeah, we're falling out of favor with those as well. We don't like what they did here. We don't like what they did there. There was even some big institutions talking about how this test on Ethereum, or this new update on Ethereum, they really didn't like. Almost like they're distancing themselves from Ethereum in preparation for something to happen. What could that something be? Let's say a total distrust of Ethereum and Bitcoin publicly. Like, we don't trust it anymore. We're not using it anymore. Bitcoin and Ethereum, or at least the way they've been operating, has been corrupt, and we're moving away from that. Where does that leave us from then for payments, right? The only place to go is XRP. So, you know, all of this happening at this point with the proper party, I think, you know, these things are aligning for the bottom to have been in, for the proper party to boost up that morale and excitement about XRP again and kind of start that bull run. That's kind of how I more imagine it, but I'll get back to you when I know more about Ethereum and Bitcoin, because there's something going on there. Outside of that, we're out of the proper party prediction, so you feel free to leave and subscribe if you enjoyed that part of the video. But if you're a long-term subscriber and you're really part of this community, you might want to hear the other stuff that's going on over here. So if you're a parent, many of you are, you'll know how stressful it is to be all the time with your child, and then your child goes off to school. That's really stressful. Doesn't seem like it. If you don't have children, you wouldn't imagine that's a stressful time, but it is stressful because it's like very emotional. You don't want them to go. It's like there's a whole emotions side of things there. Then you're also worried about them and how they integrate into school. Well, anyway, my daughter is going to preschool, and this week we have to do some like settling sessions where I go into the school with my wife and we kind of sit there with her as she plays around, and then slowly you wean her off until she's going there like for the entirety of the time that she would be going there every day without us. And it's kind of supposed to be this stress-free way of doing it. I can tell you it's not stress-free, it's stressful, but it's the best way to do it apparently. So all of this week I'm basically going to that school and getting her sorted there, so that takes away valuable like research time from the videos. So many of the videos this week may be either interviews that I've done today and tomorrow, or they may just be kind of like this, just talking to camera. Because I mean, don't tune out, because that's actually leading up to, because all the people here right now are the real ones, right? I can tell you in kind of secret now because everyone else has gone. But I am going to New York. I'm going to New York. I'm going to attend the proper party. Whether I'm at the proper party for like 30 minutes or an hour and a half, I have no idea. Like I said, I'm not a party person, so it may not appeal. There may be nothing happening. It may just be a party. And in that eventuality, then I would actually prefer to spend time with people in the community in a more reserved location than be in this like loud music thing and you can't hear when each other's talking. It's just kind of a nightmare. And so there's lots of content. I've even got a piece of paper here highlighting all of the content that I'm making in New York, even outside of the party, right? Because I think the party is going to be a nice little cherry on top. But for me, what's important is to connect with people, connect with you, the members and community members. But then there's also other stuff to do. There's interviews to have, and in-person interviews. There's New York, and there's all kinds of stuff. And I've got probably like 8 or 9 videos planned for that New York time period. So in a way, what I'm trying to say is that this week won't be a heavy week on research. We're leading up to New York, where New York we're going to have so much good content, live streams. Like if you're not able to go, which the majority of people aren't going, if you want to participate in the event and like feel like you were there and you were there with me and included, right? That's the whole point of these videos, to make you feel like you were there, so you didn't miss anything. Then make sure you're subscribed and notifications on for this week specifically, because from Thursday to Sunday, Monday, Tuesday maybe, New York content from New York will all be coming out. So just wanted to let you know everything that's happening in my normal life and everything that's kind of progressing with this channel and the content as well, and my thoughts on what I think is going to happen. But I would love actually to see what your suggestions are for videos while I'm in New York. What do you want to see? Because I already have my plan of things I'm doing, but if I'm going to add things to that, I'd like that to be one of your requests. One of those is I wanted to do a little video in front of the SEC building. I think that would be very funny. Anything like that, if you've got any ideas, just let me know. This was a very casual video. I wouldn't usually do them like this, but just the nature of this week and the stress and the lead up to New York, I thought it was appropriate. If you enjoyed it, click like. As always, stay emotionless, and I'll see you in the next one.